Hey everyone, it's Michael. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a review here for the PS1 version of Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Now, up front, I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan. Terry's probably my favorite Batman. I love Bruce Wayne, obviously, but Terry is like my favorite. I've always been a fan of that show and that character. And Return of the Joker, for anybody who doesn't know, is a kind of straight-to-video, straight-to-TV movie, and there was two versions of it, and because one, the original, was super, super dark, so they had to kind of edit it up a little bit. I love both versions of the film, and I own DVD copies of both versions of the film, and I think it's personally a better movie than something like Mask of the Phantasm that all the fans blow to death, and I don't understand the love for it, even though I grew up on both. Return of the Joker is amazing. I really, really love that flick. And when I found out there was a game for it at a local shop that I picked up, I was really excited. This was like a year and a half ago, I think, if I remember correctly, that I picked this up. And I've kind of just had it sitting on the shelf. And this is one of those things. If you were somebody like me who grew up in the 90s and you saw licensed video games, and not even that, but just, I mean, if you can call them licensed, like any kind of tie-in game to a movie or a show or a comic, you were taking a big risk if you bought them full price. And obviously I didn't have to do that, but I thought things were a little red flaggy when I got this for like $7 instead of the usual 10 that most games cost at the local shop I go to. And being a Batman game too, that just seemed like a giant red flag to me. And now I know why, because it is a red flag. Everything about this game, except for the graphics to me, I don't think they're too bad, but I'll get more into that in a moment. Pretty much everything else is a giant red flag. I did not know the reputation this game had going into it. There's a PS1 version, which I'm reviewing, and a Nintendo 64 version, which I've never played and never will at this point. So I don't know what you all probably think about this game, but in case you don't know, it's a beat-em-up. And I'm not a big beat-em-up guy. I like Turtles in Time. What is that? Is that Ninja Turtles 4? I think is what it's called. I loved that growing up when my cousin and I would play that on the Super Nintendo. And I loved stuff like that, and I liked a Simpsons arcade game and some kind of Marvel game that was at the local theaters I went to. And I think they're still there, matter of fact. But outside of that, I've never been a beat-em-up guy. It's a side-scroller, too. I've never been great at those. I enjoy them, but I'm not good enough at them that I could ever beat any of them. I don't think I've ever beaten a side-scroller, to be honest with you. I don't think I've even gotten, through a quarter of one, to be honest, because it's just not my kind of game. Mainly because, they're usually layered, where you have to be, in the same line horizontally to be able to hit anybody. And for some reason, that is, I don't know what it is about the fact that you can't always do that pisses me off so much with gaming, with this style of game. But I find it obnoxious, to be honest with you. But there's a thing here, too, where you don't have to be horizontally on the same level. Somebody can be across from you, and you can attack them, in a crossways. Go across the screen instead of, left to right or up and down. And that's kind of nice, to be honest with you. It doesn't help with the game, because the game will beat your ass in a heartbeat. I didn't even make it to level 2. I played through twice, and you get 3 lives, and then you're done, and it's going to restart like a lot of beat-em-ups do. I saw people online saying this game was easy. I don't know what you're talking about. If I didn't spam the kicking, the reach wasn't long enough to be able to stop people. Yeah, there's a block button. Yeah, there's other options for weapons like the discus, which is basically a batarang for the futuristic Batman Beyond, for anybody who doesn't know. And they explode. And that's great when you have to fight some of these boss battles like this gigantic robot at one point, or this kind of big Solomon Grundy-like clown guy that's one of the Joker's gang members. Yeah, it helps with stuff like that, but then you run out, and you have to be close enough to be able to fight them. And it sucks, man. It is such an awful game. And again, graphically, I think it doesn't even look that bad. I think it looks pretty decent from what I remember of a lot of beat-em-ups on the PS1 I tried out when I was growing up. But it's not like PS2 level or anything like that. It's just fine for a PS1 game. But it's the combat that should matter the most, the gameplay that should matter the most, and it's terrible Try fighting any of these people with the staff that you can also select as a weapon. The staff has no reach. Your fucking legs for kicking have more reach than your staff. Your staff, your giant red stick thing, your leg has more reach than that. There's no like jumping and flying around or anything to try to avoid certain obstacles, which to me, a lot of the time, some of the attacks that the villains put off, it's pretty much impossible to avoid damage from some of those things, especially the taller, bald Solomon Grundy Joker's member I talked about a moment ago. Fuck that guy. And fuck the giant robot I talked about too. I'll probably never play this game again. I'll probably never give it the time of day ever again. The music is not good, you know? And when I talked about the graphics, let's talk about the cutscenes. The cutscenes, to save money on royalties paying Will Friedle and Kevin Conroy as Batman and Terry, or Bruce and Terry, they decide not to have them at all here for the voices, as far as I know anyway. They're just static images on the screen from the movie and kind of summarized plots, and that's it. That's what you got with this piece of crap. Again, back in the day, licensed games and game tie-ins were not good. Almost always. Very rarely could you get one that was really, really fun or really great or even decent. And this is a great example of one of the worst ones I think I've ever played. Probably one of the worst beat-em-ups I've ever played, to be honest, because the reach being so bad with anything but a leg and a disc, it's bad. And then before I recorded this review, I went online just to see, like, on IMDb and on YouTube what the general consensus was about this game. And I am so glad and feel so validated that I'm not just a bad video gamer. You know, like, I feel validated the fact that this has such a bad reputation that other people who even love the movie and the show and the comics, well, not all the comics, of Batman Beyond, as much as I do, the fact that all of them hate this too makes me feel better. It's not a complete loss, but I would say like 98% of it is terrible in a way that makes you angry, you know? I played this for like 40 minutes and I had to give up. I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just, it's unbelievable how bad this is. I never would have expected this, even though I prepped myself mentally and I grew up knowing about things like this being so bad. I wasn't ready once I was in it. You know what I mean? So anyway, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker for the PS1, and also I guess the Nintendo 64, I hear is even worse, and with the controller, I wouldn't be surprised. What did you think about this terrible-ass video game? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I gotta know your thoughts down below if you played this back in the day, or even recently, if you're finding the channel based on this video. Let me know how much you hate it too, because I can't see anybody liking this. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.